2021 draws to a close, and now we look forward to 2022 with whatever fun it might have in store for us. And I have no doubt that it will be just as interesting and just as captivating as the crazy year that we've just seen go by. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for the end of 2021, the year that said, hey, 2020, hold my beer and watch what I can do, because it's been a tumultuous one. We've had ups, downs, lefts, rights, all over the shop for gold, for silver, for pretty much any investment or market out there in this big wide world. And this time of year is always rife now, looking forward to 2022 on price predictions and videos touting the $1,000 an ounce silver or more and big gains in gold. You see it every year, and hey, we're in the same position as we've been for the last 5-6 years of myself making videos. Now, I'm never a fan of these videos that just tout off big numbers and say that it's going to double in the next year. We've seen huge pandemic around the world for the last 18 months, and hey, you know what? Silver hasn't shot the moon, gold hasn't shot the moon, and it's very likely, in fact, that perhaps things might go down. So I want to present a few of my opinions on prices, on things that might happen and where we are in the world. It's important to remind you all that this is not really financial advice. I'm not here to try and predict the future. I could be completely wrong. I am here just to present some of my own observations of how the world is right now and how it feeds into my own strategies as a stacker, investor and collector of precious metals. And I hope then that will allow you to take a lot of these questions on board and ask yourself what is right for you. That is the whole purpose of this video. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions as we go, so please feel free to share them down below. Now, the biggest change, I think, from 2021 to 2022, if you cast your eye and your mind back to January 2022, is that we, I think, are in a lot better of a position than we were back then in terms of the pandemic. So it's impossible not to talk about the pandemic in the look ahead to 2022. We're in this world now where it really does form the vast majority of our lives, and the restrictions that are potentially going to be coming in, not necessarily as bad as a lot of people thought. I personally thought when we first started hearing talk of the new variant of Omicron that there would be huge lockdowns coming into force, potentially even before Christmas. But we're not really seeing that here in the UK anyway. I think that the general message, and please understand that this is not medical advice in any way, the general message is that Omicron, whilst very contagious, is less serious in terms of hospitalizations and requirements for oxygen and intensive care, which is really good. It says in certain ways to me that we're on kind of a path potentially to things just, we're going to have to live with this. We're going to have to get on with life, and it's going to have to just, we're going to have to just work with it basically going forwards into our existence. And this is, I think, a good step in the right direction for that. And I think that that's been reflected a lot in the various markets around the world. So if you just look at the past, which is one of the best ways that you can look to inform the future, when you saw the Delta variant really snare its head up into late 2020, early 2021, you saw big drops in the markets. There'd been this brilliant recovery over the summer when things were really good looking in terms of case numbers, and it was just fantastic time to be in the stock market. But then Delta came along and things just went down again, and then it slowly recovered, and we saw a small dip when the Omicron news hit, but generally speaking, we're actually above where we were before Omicron, and I can see that going up even more into the future. So I think whilst it's still a lot of unknowns out there, we're in this situation now where a lot of the future is going to be dictated by COVID or Omicron and all that, but I don't think it's going to be quite as bad as it was certainly 2 years ago. And how that relates to gold and silver is, I think, really important, because if financial markets are up against it, if they feel like there's going to be, huge detriments to them, investing in the future of infrastructure or things that can't be done during COVID, during Omicron, they won't put the money in it. They will put their money into more safe assets like gold and silver, and plenty of other assets as well. But we haven't really seen that. In fact, gold and silver have been pretty stagnant over this last couple of weeks and months. It's not really gone in the same direction, and we've not even seen a massive drop as well, like we did with the very initial set of lockdowns. We saw a huge drop off the cliffs from silver, with massive premiums going up over the course of about a week. And it's certainly not like that anymore. So where that will go for gold and silver is potentially you might see reductions in silver and gold spot prices as more money is taken out of these precious metal safe havens and put into slightly higher risk assets. That's going to be interesting. Now, one of the other things as well, a lot of people are talking about is inflation and the potential for currencies to continue to devalue over time and really impact the way that we can work as societies in this first world with the debt levels that we have and not able to sort of finance these debts. Well, we've seen some interest rate rises happen here in the UK, albeit very small. But I think a lot of people forget that inflation is actually really good for countries with a large debt. So a lot of people think, oh, inflation is the worst thing that can happen. Well, actually, it's not. If you owe $20 trillion or whatever it is, and your currency, inflates, and you have therefore less buying power in your currency, you owe essentially less real-term money for what you're going to get. It's just numbers on a screen. It's just literally numbers with zeros after it. And inflation is actually a really good thing for large debt-holding countries. So to increase the interest rates to manage that inflation, because of course the danger of inflation is that it will then hyperinflate and really get into some serious trouble then, that is a factor. So interest rates is one of the mechanisms that economies use to control inflation. So at a certain point, I have no doubt that we will see higher interest rates coming through. And a lot of people say, well, it won't be able to be sustainable because we won't be able to finance the debt, the huge numbers of debt that we've taken on board. Well, I disagree. I think that because of the inflation that we've all been seeing, the devaluation of currency over this short period of time, that small rate rise that will come, and I'm not talking it will go to 5% or anything silly, it'll be 0.5% here, 0.5% there maximum. It will be eaten up by that inflation that's already happened, and still these big debt holding countries will be better off than they once were. So it will come. And with interest rates rising, silver and gold will go down. That's the same that's happened throughout history. Again, it's a safe haven asset. It's a wonderful thing to hold, silver and gold. But for the big institutions, holding silver and gold often is a net loss asset because you have to pay for storage if it's physical. You have to pay for brokerage fees if you're buying huge contracts of this stuff, legal fees. It's not just as simple as going down to the LCS and buying 1 billion ounces of silver. It's really very, very difficult indeed. And, it's good for the long term. It's very safe for the long term. But what is equally as safe is a government guaranteed bond. The US government guarantee bonds will only ever fail if the US completely fails, if the US government fails, if the dollar fails, and there's nothing left. So that's not going to happen anytime soon, if at all. I don't think it will ever happen. And those are very safe, and they're guaranteed returns. They don't cost money. They give you interest, and that's the most important thing. So I think going forward into 2022, we are certainly going to see some interesting movements for gold and silver. I think there's going to be some stagnation. I think we're going to see potentially some dropping in price over the course of the year. I am very much looking forward to some of the releases coming this year and hoping that gold and silver prices will be lower so that when I buy my bullion grade gold, it will be lower. I'm looking forward to buying quite a few of these sovereigns for 2022 to commemorate the Platinum Jubilee, and I think that they'll be really, really nice in their bullion forms as well as this proof form here. There's plenty of other things that I'm targeting for 2022. I'm still a buyer of gold and silver, I think regardless of price at the moment, because I do think having some... what I've talked about in this first sort of 8 minutes has been fairly negative, talking about the potential for silver and gold to really go down actually in 2022, because things are not quite as bad as the world might have suspected. But I do think there's still a place for them. I think there's still a time to buy them. Will it be good if they go down in price before I go and spend all my money on them? Yeah, it certainly will be nice, but I will still be a buyer if gold stays stagnant for the next 3 months. I will still be looking to add more gold to my stack. I'll certainly be looking to add more collectibles to my stack. One of the big changes and one big shift I've seen over this last 18 months to 2 years has been this huge demand spike for collectibles, for real things, not just gold and silver, old Dungeons and Dragons books, Magic the Gathering, Lego, Star Wars, everything. There has been a huge surge in prices for these things. And it's, I think, telling of the times that people really don't want to have a lot of money in just currency and just things. They want to have things. They just want to have real stuff that they can sell, that other people want, that other people enjoy, rather than just numbers on a screen. And I think that's really telling for this time. So for me, this shift towards more kind of collectible numismatics to things that will actually hold some value above their metal weight, I think is really, really important for me. So that's one of the strategies going forward. I am more of a buyer now of the kind of proof style coins that we see with that Gothic crown and the sovereign here than I am perhaps just bulk bullion, but I still will be buying some bullion going forward into 2022. So lots of interesting things ahead. Now, in terms of interesting things ahead, I do want to kind of conclude this video with a little bit of a channel update. So a lot of what I've talked about right now is strategy going forward for gold and silver, for buying, for investing, for collecting. But the channel here is a big part of my life. And for those that don't know, it's my job. I do YouTube, I do silver pouring and produce very nice, cool little items as a job. That's my calling in life, so to speak. And 2022, I think, is going to be an interesting year for the channel. So I do want to share a little few updates on what's to come. Now, in terms of the big mainstay, the YouTube channel, we are forecasting a very busy 2022 when it comes to life for me, for the Backyard Bullion household. So it's going to be, the focus is YouTube is what I guess I'm going to say. We have got a lot going on in life, as everybody has at the moment. And I do want to reiterate my commitment to YouTube, to here. I love doing what I do on this channel. I love the message that I put out. I love making videos about coins. I love talking about shiny things. That is the whole mantra of what we do. So I do want to reiterate that we will be continuing with our 3 video a week schedule. We will be talking on Wednesdays about general topical videos and interesting topics. I call them my precious metal rambles, and that will continue for the foreseeable future. In Focus Friday, which would normally have been today, but I kind of figured as it's the New Year's Eve, we'll basically just have a little bit of a wrap up and a look forward. But In Focus Friday will continue. It's my mainstay. It's one of the things that we started right at the very beginning of this channel. And I want to say a massive thank you to all the sponsors that we've had on over this last year. We've got more coming for 2022. We've been featuring the likes of Europa Bullion, supplying some of the latest incredible new releases of coins, like the Kookaburras, the Tigers, and plenty more. But also big sponsors like the Germania Mint, who are incredibly generous with sending some of the really incredible coins. And I do just want to point out as well that the Germania Mint were incredible last week when they sent me, the Knights of the Past, the 2-ounce gold gilded coin, and it was not great quality. And I filmed the video and it was always going to go live. I was never going to change that video. But I sent them a message saying, hey, look, your coin wasn't great. It wasn't in brilliant condition. If you want to send me another one, which I'll send back, I wasn't going to ask for a second free coin. But if you want to send me another one, I can do another video in the future showing that actually it can be done right. Then please feel free to do so. They just said, no, do you know what? Look, it was taken from a pile of coins. It was not checked before it was sent to you. And that's fine. We can take the constructive feedback and criticism and go on board with that, which is brilliant. That is incredible. That is a company that I want to work with. That is a company that says to me they care about their quality, but they also care about their reputation more. And they don't want to just have a gilded image out there. They want to be known as a company that, yeah, look, that coin had some issues, but they're going to rectify them. They're going to make those issues right, which is incredible. So good job on them. In terms of other sponsorships, so we've got plenty of sponsorships going on right now. You may have noticed a link down in the description box below to the Pure Gold Company, who are a kind of a vaulting style service, and they can do physical as well, that I've been talking with over the last couple of weeks here, and they are very, very good. I would very, very much recommend them as a starting point for anybody to look to talk about gold and silver as an investment. They're qualified financial advisors as well, I believe. So it's really very good to go and check them out. Have a look at that down in the description below. Otherwise, in terms of content going forwards, we've got some interesting things lined up. One of them is around this Gothic crown. Now, I've been alluding a few sort of facts about this, or a few hints about what's coming up, but we are in talks about seeing one of the very large denominations in gold from one of the premier UK bullion dealers. So as and when that happens, I think we're looking at mid to late January. That's going to be an event. That is going to be super, super exciting to go up to this big bullion dealer, see hopefully not just that, but lots of other cool, shiny things as well. Now, the other part of what we do here on the channel is poured silver, and I do want to tell you a little bit about what's ahead for poured silver. So 2022 has really already started. I've already manufactured a number of small things which will be sent off to the assay office in early January for their very first 2022 hallmarks. So for those that don't know, everything goes to the assay office for hallmarking. It's the important guarantee that we offer to all of our customers, and it's, I think, the most important thing about what we do in terms of poured silver. There's the hallmark all nice and close. And 2022 has already started in that sense. We've got lots of things in the works in terms of new products. We've also got some older 1 ounce BYB bars, which I sent in for hallmarking in December and came back too close to Christmas really to get them out. So those will be put up for sale in early January. I'll probably have a video going out later in the week about those. But yeah, we will be making more poured silver. We will still be doing poured silver made to order. So if anybody wants a special gift or heart or something to commemorate a special event, things like that, then just get in touch. A lot of what we do these days is not just listed up for sale on our website. It's very much put to order. So if you are interested in anything, then really is as simple as getting in touch. Silver Forum is going to be the continuing mainstay of our sponsorships. As you may have seen from the intro of this video, they sponsored pretty much every single video that we've done over the last 5 years, and the partnership that we've got with them is so valuable to me emotionally. And a lot of people will have conspiracy. Well, I use the word valuable. A lot of people will have conspiracy theories saying that I get paid inordinate amounts of money from the Silver Forum. Really? Honestly, no. It's just a partnership that we have, which is so valuable to me emotionally. It's a great community. It's incredible. I love everybody that's on there. It's wonderful. The buy, the sell, the trade, the gifts, the giving, everything is incredible about the forum. It's well worth checking out if you've not done so already. And we will be making more of the 1 ounce, the 100 gram, the 3 ounce, and the 5 ounce rounds for 2022, and those will be coming up at various points in the year. The first one will be the 1 ounce rounds, which will be approximately April, May time. That's when we traditionally release them, so definitely worth checking out for those. Otherwise, I think that's basically it. I mean, as with silver and gold prices, there's only so much that you can predict going forwards into 2022, and I certainly can't predict more about what's coming up for the channel. And all I will say is that it's going to be an interesting year. I think for a lot of people, we don't know where things will be come the end of the year, certainly even a few months into the year. So it is going to be interesting to see how it all evolves, and I hope to share all of that evolution with you over the course of the year. I just want to also finish this episode, with a bit of a heartfelt thanks to everybody out there on YouTube, around the world, that watches our content. You know, if you're watching right now, 18 minutes into the video, you guys are incredible. You guys and gals watch the end of the videos. You're the Backyard Bullion Rambling Society. You enjoy how we do things, how we present things, and it means the world. It really does. Without all of you, the sponsorships I've talked about, the cool things that we get to share and showcase are just, not possible. So it's because of you that we do what we do, and I will continue to do it for you guys. And I do really want to reiterate that everything that we have is down to you, and I really appreciate it. It's changed my life to do this as a job, so thank you. And I'd love to hear from you. If you are a BYB Rambler, please share that comment down below if you've listened to the end. It's so special to hear from you guys, and I do try my very hardest to make sure I reply to every single one of you as well. That's it from me and 2021. We'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you in 2022. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.